had never worked a day in her life, except for home. Obviously, that's a lot of work. And she did her part of the marriage, but yet she was my father, discarded her when things came tough or were rough, and she had no way to no career or anything. She had no, and that made me think very deeply about gender equality, not just in my home country in Thailand, but around the world. And then, of course, poverty, just going through the days of struggle in poverty with my mother and my younger brother. Those are things that I just want to be able to, we've got the world's biggest platform now for martial arts, the biggest voice in the world. And I always tell our heroes, how do you want to use your voice? How do we want to use our big voice? And if I can, in some small way today, if my team and I and our incredible female world champions, if in some small way we inspired little girls all over the world to become a doctor, to become a CEO, to become a vice president of engineering, to break barriers, to not be limited by, the inequality, the world has been plagued with in terms of gender equality, then I will feel that my team and I will feel that we've done a small part in making this world a better place.
Thank you for sharing, and as a woman, I really appreciate you giving them this platform. And then lastly, so grappling is gaining popularity around the world. We have smaller promotions gaining traction and new ones like ADXC in the Middle East popping up. So we've seen one consistently feature grappling on the cards and even making headliners. How do you see BJJ evolving here at One?
So again, we are increasing the number of events we're throwing. So we love the fact that we have a lot of flexibility. We love the fact that we celebrate the very best martial artists, the very best world championship fighters on the planet in every discipline. And we love the fact that we give them flexibility. We give them opportunity to express their art or their athletic ambitions in their own unique ways. Right? In the other big 800-pound gorilla on the west. In the Western Hemisphere, you have only one option, which is MMA. Here, you can compete at the highest levels in the world and carve your own legacy and create your own history. And I think that's something very important because, even for me as a lifelong martial artist, I started as a Muay Thai practitioner. I still am a lifelong, and I still do it, but I picked up Jiu-Jitsu along the way. And for me, as Bruce Lee said, martial arts is an expression of the self. And to do it honestly how you feel, and I truly believe that Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu are the two best hand-to-hand combat martial arts out there. So for me, and so our professional athletes, they have the opportunity to not only grow in different disciplines, but then to vie for world titles if they're good enough in these disciplines. And I think that's what makes One so unique and so magical relative to any other promotion where, of course, we are as big or bigger than UFC in different metrics around the world, and I think our growth rates will continue. We just see that our numbers are growing exponentially, and I think this year will be the first year in which we, through the most number of events, right, for any global organization, I think we'll pass 60 this year every week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Chatri, Deepan from the Straits Times.
Yes.
Just keen to find out what you thought of today's event. I mean, it's pretty early start, but we saw a packed crowd here
Yes.
at the Indoor Stadium. How would you sum up the whole event?
I thought it was fantastic. The only thing I was kind of complaining about with my team was that we normally have very fast-paced action, fight to fight, and this time they drew out the storytelling, which is great, but a little bit too long. So I, as a fan, was not super happy. I was super happy with the action, but I don't think I think my team and I could have done a better job, and it ended up being a 5-hour show. It could have easily been 4 hours.
Just a question on Angela. What does this departure mean for One, and could you also sum up the career she's had so far in One Championship?
Yeah, Angela is a pioneer, trailblazer, arguably, one of the best pound for pound female world championship martial artists on the planet during her reign. And skill-wise, I would say she's best pound for pound. But that always didn't translate in the cage, against especially someone like Jing Nan was able to solve the puzzle of Angela. But in terms of skill set, I think her legacy will be one of love and kindness and authenticity, much like Victoria. And I'm joining the board. When Angela invited me to join the board of directors of Fight Story, I said yes immediately because I truly believe in her mission in the mission of saving lives through stories, and understand that every single person, everyone in this room is a fighter. We're all fighting something. We all have good days, bad days, and ugly days. We all have fears, doubts, and insecurities, and it's not addressed enough. I think I agree with Victoria. When I first met Victoria, I said, "What do you want to do with your life?" And she was like 9 or 10 years old. And she said, "Chatri, I want to help the world." And I thought, wow, that's so deep for a little girl. And the fact that we can do that now and honor Victoria's legacy and help the world, save lives, and let people know all over the world that no one is alone. We're actually, and sorry to sound corny, but we are one. Every human being, we're all actually all tied together in this journey. And so when I created One, I didn't have a mission of putting on the most big pay-per-view dollars or revenues or any of that kind of stuff. I literally wrote, our mission is to unleash real-life superheroes who unite the world with hope, strength, dreams, and inspiration. I had no idea that, Angela, who's become a superhero, would then choose mental health, which is a very serious issue all over the world. Everyone struggles. And to bring it to light and, using our platform. So you'll be seeing a lot of Fight Story, you'll be seeing a lot of Angela in One still, albeit not as an athlete, on the sidelines, and I'll be very active with Fight Story and pushing the mission forward. And this is what's so beautiful. For me, One Championship, I want to alleviate poverty, I want to help gender inequality around the world. For Angela, it's saving lives through mental health awareness. But you see, the platform is so big. We're broadcasting in 190 countries live every Friday. Again, the biggest broadcast by far now of any global organization in combat sports. And just our social media metrics, organic video views this year will be 30 billion organic video views. That's a message that's a platform that we can send a message. We can say, go be a bad person or go try to be a good person. We can say, if you find someone who's bullied, you can help them. Or if you find someone who's alone and lonely, you can help them. And I think that's the power of One. And that's what makes me most proud and most fulfilled for my team and I.
Given what both fighters have achieved in the sport, Ham's kind of a veteran and Stamp's the next generation, where do you rank the main event in terms of classics, especially for women's MMA?
I thought it was a good fight. I didn't think it was outstanding. Of course, both are, amongst the very best in the world, if not the best. I would say they're the two best atomweights on the planet. But I'm talking about pound for pound. You could argue different, but they're definitely up there. In terms of pound for pound discussion. Actually, I would say Stamp, now having won 3 world titles across 3 different sports, is the single greatest female combat sports athlete. But the fight itself was good. It was technical. The ending came rather sudden. I was hoping that there would be more action in overall, but it was a good fight.
And for Stamp, just how good is he? We've seen her evolution, she had that submission previously, she showed her ground game's evolving. Just how good can she be?
Look, she is the greatest female combat sports athlete. No one has ever done what she's done. Win Muay Thai at the highest levels, win kickboxing at the highest levels, win MMA at the highest levels, and the way she's done it. And I went to visit Fairtex, 2-3 months ago, just as a tour in Thailand, and had a training session with her, and her jiu-jitsu is legit. And that arm bar, I don't know if you saw, was tight. It was in. If there was 10 more seconds, that arm would have been broken. It was on. So who would have thought that a Muay Thai world champion, would be slick? And now her no-gi game is genuinely black belt level. Genuinely. Actually, Mikey Musumeci was there with me. We were training together, and he was blown away by Stamp's skills now on the ground.
What did you make of the custom rules bout with Xiong Nan? And she says she wants to go back to atomweight. Is her and Stamp the natural next?
Yeah, I think that would be an incredible fight. I think we learned a few things because, again, we're always pushing the boundaries of innovation with new products and stuff. And I do believe that special rules boxing in those small gloves, it can be an outstanding sport and a great product for fans and creates different storylines as well, right? But I think the big learning we had was if you put 2 people in there without one-punch KO power, it gets a little bit messy and it doesn't get as dramatic as we would. But if you put 2 people with one-punch KO power, I think the fights would be spectacular, right? And people would like to go toe-to-toe. Again, the very first duo that we offered this special rule fight was actually Liam Harrison and John Lineker, and they both accepted. Now you imagine if that fight was John Lineker there with Liam Harrison, somebody would have got knocked the hell out, right? So that is the concept. We want dynamite hands, and again, another way for martial artists to express yourself. Yes, Liam Harrison has amazing hands, but he's an offensive Muay Thai world champion. Why can't he pick up another title in another sport? And again, it's just, you know, as everyone knows, our mantra is the home of martial arts, and that's what we intend to do going forward. You know, always adding new products and innovating.
Sometimes to innovate, you've got to experiment a little bit. Is there anything more that you want to tweak in terms of jiu-jitsu? We've seen combat jiu-jitsu, for example. Is there anything you want to add or tweak or play with?
You know, every week I have a weekly product leadership meeting with all the different leaders, and we discuss that. Like, how do we get the Muay Thai product better? How do we get the jiu-jitsu product? How do we get the MMA product better? And for us, it's all about action and finish rate, right? I mean, I think we have a close to 70% finish rate, the highest in the world, compared to any other global organization, and I'm very proud of that. And I think most fans will say now that ONE is the most exciting promotion, especially if you watch One Friday Fights. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but that is some insane stuff. Insane. And I think Joe Rogan even came out yesterday or something, or the day before, saying, ONE has the most exciting, product. And I agree. What you see in, let's say, the UFC is very sloppy, mediocre-ish striking, because they're not strikers. A typical UFC fighter is a D1 college wrestler, 7-0 in the minor leagues, and then they do a little bit of striking, and then they enter the UFC. And ONE, all these are world champions before they arrive, and they're already multiple world champions at their peak of their career when they arrive. Anyone from an Anissa Maxson to a DeBella to a Rotang or Tawancha or Superbon or any of these legit killers, and that's what makes us different. Is that we truly, like, if you look at our roster, I think UFC has about 700 athletes, and so do we, around there. But if you look at the number of world championship titles that our athletes have won before they joined ONE, right? It's like half the organization. You go to a UFC or a Bellator, it's like maybe 20, 30. That's maximum. That's why you see a lot of sloppy jiu-jitsu, sloppy low-level striking in those organizations, whereas in ONE you see the very, very best on the planet in each of the disciplines, and then of course with MMA as well. So I think bar none, we have the most exciting experience for fans all over the world.
You said we'll see more of Angela. She's in the commentary booth tonight. Is that a role we might see more of her in?
Yeah, she's experimenting. We're discussing ways to push fight story, the mission of saving lives through stories and mental health awareness, and so we'll put our heads together and think different things away. But I think she's a natural. I just saw her. She was the first time I ever saw her. She's a natural. So I definitely would love to see more of her. Yeah, but I don't know if that is what she wants. I know she's very, very driven on honoring Victoria's legacy.
Thank you.
Speaking of Friday fights, last week was a big night for Muay Thai. The numbers came out pretty.
Yeah, biggest in
insane.
history by far. It's crazy. We're trending number 2 in America. We're trending number 3 in the UK. We're trending number 1 in Indonesia. Trending number 1 in Thailand. Number 11 worldwide on YouTube. And the list goes on in different countries. And like that, when we made that card, I told my team, just do it for Thailand. I didn't literally care about any other market. Of course, I know we broadcast One Friday Fights on YouTube. Or if we don't have a broadcast partner, it's on YouTube. But if we have a broadcast partner in the country, then it'll be broadcast. But I really literally said, guys, I want to blow up Thailand because I knew our brand was hot. I knew we're 34 weeks straight of number 1 rated show of any content stack. By the way, we're not just combat sports. We're number 1 over soap opera, movies, entertainment, news, sports, and combat sports. It's crazy, our numbers, and we're 2, 3x, 4x bigger than the other any other content stack. So I said, let's do one card that just blows up the country and gets everyone. And I had no idea. Then suddenly Joe Rogan talking about it. Liam Harrison was there live. He flew in on his own dime. Just like crazy stuff all over the world. And our Japan numbers were up 20x from normal. Like, it just crazy stuff like that. So I was like, wow. So what I realized is, just like I used to think that, hey, no one's going to appreciate Muay Thai the way I do because I've done it all my life. But actually what people really appreciate is watching the very best of the best go at it. If you're the best in the world and you go out and you try to finish the fight, not pitter-patter, amateur hour stuff, finish the fight with unbelievable high level technique. People appreciate it. Like, people definitely see the difference, the level difference of our strikers versus a UFC striker. Definitely, not even close. Even our MMA strikers, right? Even like a Stamp Vertex, much crisper and cleaner than 99.9% of the roster. So of our competitor. So that's just to give again like a little bit of color. So I think again, my team and I would say we're just at the very beginning of it. This is day one for us. But yeah, I mean, it blew up numbers in Thailand alone. Estimate if you combine TV viewership, online viewership, and our partners' viewerships, so 50 million easily viewers out of 72, 73 million population, which is crazy, right? It's crazy. So.
Rod Tank Super Light. Have you spoken with them since?
Yeah. As I said before, I was super close. I disagree with the judge's decision, but I respect and I understand it because it's super close. So my team and I are already talking about rematch. So we want to do the rematch ideally in Qatar.
Is there a date for this?
Yes, there's a date. I just can't announce it because we're coordinating with the government of Qatar in terms of the timing of the announcement. They want to.
We won't talk.
It's December. I'll just tell you that it's December, and it will be the biggest card this year for us. Yes.
Last one question.
No, we can have a few more. Five more minutes. Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Can I ask someone?
我们是来中国的媒体，我想问一下您就是怎么评价熊静南的今天的表现？
So this is a media from China, Echo Sports, and her question is about Xiong Jingnan. What do you think Xiong Jingnan today's performance?
I'm proud of both Jingnan and Wonder Girl. They are pioneers in developing new product for one, and it was a tough battle. I mean, I don't know how many athletes are willing to step in with small gloves. It's a scary thing, and just a bang. So I really appreciate Jingnan. I really appreciate Wonder Girl. They're making history as two female superstars.
首先他说他非常感谢熊静南和这个特作他们接这场比赛，因为他们两个是这个新产品的先驱，因为之前没有人尝试过这个新的比赛，然后很少有人敢用这个小拳套站在这个圆笼里面，然后进行就是站立的对比，所以他对他们两位运动员都感到非常的自豪。
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a couple?
Yes, of course.
All right. I lost my train of thought.
Where's Nick?
Okay,
Nick's not here today?
He's busy.
Oh,
Asian
okay, got
Games.
it.
Last week you ruffled some feathers with
Yeah.
your comments about K1.
Yeah.
I believe the K1 producer or head of global, he
Yeah.
responded. Did you see his response?
No, I haven't. Look, what I meant to say, and I think my words were taken out of context. Of course, K1 30 years ago, 25 years ago, was a powerhouse in the world of striking. I'm saying today, right? Today, the viewership is literally, 2% of one championships, and those are facts. It's not a disrespect thing, right? And I genuinely believe that we have a higher level roster. So, could I have phrased it better? Probably, but it was, in the heat of the moment. And so I mean no disrespect to K1. I'm just stating facts that K1 is predominantly a Japan only and has been on a decline, right? For the last 25, 30 years has been on a decline. So, literally their viewership numbers are like literally 2% that of one. Even if you go to their YouTube page, I think it's like 50,000. Our YouTube page is 8 million, right? If you go to our Facebook page, 40 million. Theirs is, I don't even think 100,000. So I'm just stating facts, but I did not see whoever responded or whatever it is. I don't pay any attention to them at all. I mean, that's not my. I'll just tell you that all the best K1 fighters want to join one, and I'll tell you their biggest star joined one, right? Takeru. So that's what I can say.
With Takeru, do we have any news about him?
Yeah, he's going to be fighting. Imminently, I'm going to make an announcement. Hopefully, in the next few weeks. Yeah, two weeks. Hopefully.
Are you looking Qatar for him also?
No. Yeah, we have a big event planned. A few big events planned, like one of our big tentpoles, like big stadium events, outside of Thailand, outside of Singapore. So just somewhere. Yeah.
Joe Rogan on his podcast said that he's interested in commentating Muay Thai.
Yeah. Well, Joe, You and I know each other. Come on, anytime, man. if you want to commentate in the #1 league by far in Muay Thai, absolute killers and monsters, which you know already, Joe. Give me a call.
Thank you, Chatri.
Okay.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Chatri.